Hey, let's talk Bigfoot. Why do I believe in Bigfoot? Do I have some kind of mental illness? Probably, because that runs on both sides of my family. And I was raised Southern, so we're not ashamed of crazy. We're kind of proud of it. Well, it goes back to when I was a child. I'm 59 years old, and I grew up in the 70s. And every time a Walt Disney movie came out, growing up in the 70s, my mama took me to see it. And you know how they do the sneak previews at the beginning? They've always done it that way. Well, the PG film came on. The Patterson Gimlin film that allegedly has a real Bigfoot in it. They call her Patty. That showed in the theater, and my child mind was just blown. And I got hooked, and I've been hooked ever since. But not until social media came along many years later, I wasn't able to get a hold of a lot of information. Libraries, don't take it seriously, and, they tell you to go to the folklore or paranormal or children's section. And then even then there was like just a handful of books. Not even that. But all the research that I've acquired from Bigfoot researchers. Now, I'm not a Bigfoot researcher. I'm a Bigfoot enthusiast. I'm into it, but I'm not, I don't go out there in the field and research trying to find them. What do I think they are? Human. I think they're a type of human. Could be descendants of Nephilim. Could be descendants of Esau. Now, I got acquainted with a woman named Marie Stevenson. She passed away some time ago. I got to know her through the Facebook Bigfoot groups, and she and I became friends. And she was a very godly woman, Christian, like me, believed in the Bible, like me. And she knew her Bible, and I'm learning. I read it, but that's another story. She told me that she believed they were descendants of Esau. Could be. One thing about me is I will never argue with anybody about this because I don't know nothing about nothing. I just go by what, hearsay, what I've, from Bigfoot researchers and people who have seen these things. I've talked to over 100 eyewitnesses, and face to face and on the phone and by messenger and by text and email. And I got to tell you, the ones that I met face to face, I do believe their stories. You can see the fear in their eyes and how it changed them just seeing these beings. Leonard Nimoy, actor who played Spock on Star Trek, the original cast, he believed in them. He did this famous documentary that was in the early 70s called In Search Of. And he said, the Sasquatch are real. And they know all about us, everything. But we know so little about them, and they're going to make sure we don't know that much about them. So you can come on YouTube and look up some videos, the Patterson Gimlin film. Look up M.K. Davis, Thunker, the Minnesota Trackway, Paul Freeman. There's print casts, hair samples that come back from the lab as unknown primate. And all the eyewitness accounts has made me a believer. Now, I went to the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, which is the largest Bigfoot conference in the country. Well, I think in the world. headed by Mark DeWorth. And Mark's he's a real nice guy, stand-up guy. And it's impressive. I've only been once. I need to go back. I just haven't. They have it every year, I think in May. Well, while I was there, I met Bob Gimlin. And I heard his story in person. And I believe him. I had my picture made with him too. I won a picture in an auction. And before I show it to you, I'll tell you about it. It is a sketch drawn by a retired police officer that worked as a sketch artist for the police department when eyewitnesses of suspects would come in and describe what a suspect looked like, and he would draw with their description. He interviewed an eyewitness who had an encounter with a Bigfoot, and he drew what they described. So, let me show you. Now, there's a reflection on it, but you can see it. There's the artist signature. Look at that. Look at that face. That is a human. It's a human. Someone gave this book to me about a year ago, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm gonna start reading it today. It looks very interesting. It's got a lot of things in it. You know, it's very, very interesting. And I can't wait to get started. 59 years old, and I have been interested in this since I was a child. I do believe. Now, what I have been interested in the last couple of weeks, and I think I've got him right. I think he's fairly new to YouTube, like a couple of months or a few months. It's Reel, R-E-E-L, and a dash adventures. I'll try to look it up and put it in the description of my video. He tells stories of people that send him their encounters of the Dogman. I've always heard of the Dogman, but now in the last couple of weeks, I've gotten interested in that. So, but we'll talk more about that. But this is about Sasquatch. Sasquatch has been around a long time. Could be descendants of Nephilim. N-E-P-H-I-L-I-M. Is that how you spell that? The word is not in the Bible, but the meaning of it is. The fallen angels mated with human women. They're hybrid, and the human women did not survive the birth. And their hybrid is called Nephilim. Scott Carpenter, he is a researcher, or was. He passed away a year ago. And he researched in the Smoky Mountains. He lived in Maryville, and I've got some kin folks that live in Maryville. And go watch his videos. I think he was a stand-up guy too. So I'm going to put my email in the description of this video. And if you have a Bigfoot story, whether it's fiction or real, and you'd like for me to read it, I will. Also, if you have a prayer request, please feel free to send that too. Make sure you mark them important, because if you're new to sending me an email, it goes to spam and I won't see it. Also, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button, and please subscribe, because I would like to get this channel growing. I would appreciate that too. If you've watched this, thank you for your time. I'll see you next time. God bless you.